All right, so we're here at the lake. Beautiful sunny day, and it's time to build the countertops. And we're here at my Uncle Michael and Aunt Jeannie's place, and this is the wood shop.
This is a mess. All right, so now that we've got the design, we have to start making the stock. So we'll make a few measurements, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what we're gonna do. At least 70 inches. Dude, 71 inches.
Wow.
Perfect.
So one of the longer pieces didn't have quite as straight of an edge as we need. So we're running it through a planer joiner to flush it up and get it all flat. To get all the surfaces flat and how they're gonna lay, we use a planer. And that just ensures that there's no bumps or anything in the top part of the wood. While Michael's planing the wood in there, he's handing the pieces to me and I'm going through and kind of lining up different grains together, the orientation of where all the joints are gonna be, and try to make it look pretty as well as be strong. That's pretty flush.
Yeah, that's a much better fit. Yeah, see, now if you can push them together, we're in pretty good shape. Some of these boards are going to be a little uncooperative until we get them into clamps.
That looks really good.
It's going to be pretty cool.
So what are we doing now?
Well, we're going to glue it together, and we can't glue the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two. We're going to take this and this.
So basically these are the long strips of the smaller plank, and you got to glue it in sections.
Yep.
Because don't have a big enough planer.
Oh, come on.
So last night, the initial attempt of clamping down the wood together in sections and then planing it in sections, it warped a little bit. So we changed our trajectory of, we're gonna lay everything out, cut it to size, and then create kind of a custom planer for everything all at once. So we're just laying the boards in now.
Perfect. Look at that. There we go. Nice. It's starting to come together.
There you got it. Got it in. Now it's time to number them and then
Laminate it.
So now that we have them all positioned inside of the ambulance, we clamped them all together, and now we're just making sure that all of the joints line up and that there's no little cracks or anything in the wood. And if there is, we run it through the planer. Like this little tiny overhang here from this piece, we'll run this piece through the planer so it's flush with this one. And then start the gluing process. A couple hours later, the glue has finally dried enough for us to work with it. We just took the clamps off and it's holding together, which is always a good sign. Time to start making this all flat. We only have a 12-inch wide planer to work with. We built our custom planer. It's nice and flat underneath here, but basically we're just gonna push this countertop all the way through as we make passes with the router. And you can see there's a little gap. It's all even, and we'll see if it works. This is a first for both of us. We're about halfway through planing the bottom of the countertop, and the custom planer is working. This is already sanded and done, and it's just perfect. Today is a big project day. It's day 3 of the countertop build. We're gonna finish that up. My uncle Michael is planing the top now and sanding it all down nice. And my dad and I are working on putting in the Maxxair roof fan here. Got the deluxe, whatever you even call it, the Maxxair deluxe. All I know is you can keep it open when it rains, and that was a big factor in that purchase. But there's a couple things that goes into cutting a roof vent out. We're gonna skirt along that beam, and then there's a beam on this side over here, which I cut a hole and cut along. There's a support in here that I cut out, but it's 14 inches from edge of the beam to edge of the beam, which happens to be the perfect dimension for the roof fan. It's 14 by 14. Which I'll show you. A ton of metal shavings in my hair right now, cutting that up. But made the template and just drew it with a pencil. It's pretty straight. I'm happy with it. We're gonna just be eyeballing it anyway. It's time to cut a 14 by 14 hole in the roof. A little scary. The roof vent project is about halfway done. Made the hole, fits perfect, and I just glued, since the ambulance is aluminum, I talked to the guys at the RV store and they said to use this Dyco 2020 seam seal. So we have the top base plate in. Now we just gotta cut this. This comes in from the inside. We have to cut that to size and then just a couple screws and electrical and it's done. We tested the fan already and it works with power, so that's all that I was worried about really, besides cutting this massive hole. But yeah, ready to mount it.
I can't see the damn thing. Shit, I can't.
You should have seen the physical pain that this man exerted when I told him I wanted to cut a hole in this wood. I'm sure he spent so much time on it. We got to do one more sand after cutting this hole, but then it's ready for some stain and then installation. It is all sanded.
Michael.
And ready to go. Nice work, man.
You're welcome. All right.
Look at this.
Start going.
Here's the trash chute. All right.
All right, you ready for the first?
Time for some stain. Ooh. That golden mahogany
Is this all scrap on
is
it?
the color of choice. So we're coming to the end of the countertop build, and this section is the insulation part. Here we have liquid nails, construction adhesive. Obviously you need a really good bond, but we're gonna put the countertop down, or lather this on super thick, put the countertop down, then shoot a couple screws from the bottom side and just let time do its thing.
Watch my head.
There you go. Only took you till the last day.
Yeah. Okay. Put your end to end. Put your end to end.
Me first?
Yep. Get it going. Got it?
Yep.
Just keep it up. Keep it up on your end. Keep dragging it through the muck.
Okay, got it?
And just put her down.
This is insane. Wow. Dang. I'm gonna shoot some screws.
Came through. There's no rocking to it at all.
Nothing happening underneath here.
Nope, nothing came through.
Good.
I checked.
One more step, Tim.
That was that was probably the biggest step, actually.
The electrical, probably.
Well, besides that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all big.
The flooring was also a really big one.
I was gonna say they're all.
I think
All the steps have been big.
Coat of varnish on the countertop here. Big painting day. Stoked on how that turned out. That's awesome. 115. Dang. A little bit of technical difficulties.